حافظوا على مصر، حافظوا على الثورة، الحفاظ على الثورة اللي احنا اكتسبناه.
Save Egypt, save democracy, save the revolution you helped build, save the blood of the martyrs, and don't let anyone rob you of your revolution. These were the last words of Mohamed Morsi, whose death penalty represents a leap towards the edge for the Egyptian judiciary. The judiciary sentenced Morsi to death on June 16th. He was the country's first elected president. The judiciary also set deposed autocrat Hosni Mubarak free after he was convicted on charges of corruption and bribery and being responsible for the deaths of protesters during the January 2011 revolution. Ousted President Morsi barely held his post for a year and is now the first president in the history of the world to be sentenced both to death penalty and life in prison. The Muslim Brotherhood's grand leader Mohamed Badie was also sentenced to death. Before sentencing criminals to death, Egypt's judges take into consideration the advice of the country's most senior religious authority, the Grand Mufti. A preliminary date of early June was given for the Mufti's decision concerning the mass death sentences given to Muslim Brotherhood members for alleged espionage and a 2011 prison break. He said he didn't find room for mercy after reviewing the sentences. Egypt postponed the early June decision as it coincided with President Sisi's visit to Germany. Many people and politicians announced their anger at Sisi's presence in Berlin, including the president of the Bundestag. Egyptian activists took to social media and announced the public failure of the Berlin visit. They accused their government of postponing the death penalty decision on purpose in order to avoid further embarrassment. They also criticized President Sisi and his entourage for failing to answer straightforward questions about human rights violations and the mass death sentences in Egypt. Following the decision to uphold the death sentences, the Muslim Brotherhood called for a popular uprising on its verified Facebook page. The group hopes for an uprising that would uproot the current government brought to power by a coup that has seen hundreds being killed, abducted, or given politically motivated sentences. Activists say that protests from now on will be different in nature. Not only Muslim Brotherhood supporters were angered and shocked by the mass sentencing, but liberals and secularists as well. Analysts examine the possibility of mass protests generating a different outcome, with the mixture of protesters and discontents changing to once again bear resemblance to the patriotic blend that ousted Mubarak in January 2011.